Whew, all right. Transform your reality. Transform your reality began with me. You may know my story. If you don't, you can look me up on Google or YouTube and you'll see I did a TED Talk regarding transform your reality. You know, I wouldn't really say I came from very bad or financially distraught means as a child, but I will say this, it was a very, very hard road. And on that road I was on, it led me to a point when I was 16 where I contemplated suicide. In fact, I was in the bathroom with a hammer and razor blade ready to do it. To learn more about that, like I said, look at the TED Talk, Lacey Weston TED Talk online. You'll hear more about that. But at that point, at 16 years old, I was in that bathroom, I was there for 2 hours, and in my mindset, I realized I didn't want to take myself out, I had more to live for. There's certain things I want to do with my life. So at that point, I came up with the plan for transforming my reality. And there were steps for me to do that. It's the same steps I teach my kids. My son, I had to talk with him when he was much younger. Same steps I taught my daughters. It's the same steps I talk to and share with all of my customers. Like I said, I've done this for over 30 years, so all of my customers, I teach them and talk to them about these same steps. And the reason why I do, because it doesn't matter how old you are or where you are in your life. You know, when I see kids on the street, if they're 9 years old, 10 years old, 15 years old, I talk to them. Because there's not one person on this planet, not one, who hasn't gone through some type of turmoil or tragedy or something in life that's hit them psychologically. Mine had to do with the fact that I was in a house with a lot of people, and we're all related. But in that house, I always felt separate, aside, alone by myself. Well, it was when I got older I realized the reason why I felt like that, because that was the fact. I was an outside. I wasn't really the family. I was part of the family, but I thought I was in the family. Long story short, who I thought was my parent wasn't. And how I was treated by that person was so inhumane many times that most people would have committed suicide. Most people would have ended up on drugs or in jail because of the amount of hatred towards me. And if I chose to retaliate, I wouldn't be here talking to you right now. So those steps I came up with was my way of trying to connect with myself first, others second, the world third. Example. I connected with myself first by getting in the world of bodybuilding to learn and to understand who I was. So me getting on a stage, it did more than just help me get an award and titles and trophies. It taught me how to communicate and how to connect with other people. Because to get on stage like that, it takes some guts. I was scared. But the more I did it, I felt free. I felt alive. I felt like I belonged. I can talk to these people. I'm not afraid. So I gained more strength in me. I wanted to have my own business. So I had to communicate what I wanted. I did that. I learned how to communicate with other people. Okay? Once I learned how to communicate with other people, I had children. Those children I taught to be strong within themselves, to become something, to not feel weak, to not feel like they can't do in life. From the time I was like this all the way up, I was always told what I couldn't do. You can't do this, you can't do that, you can't be this, you can't be that. You can't do this because you're not good enough. You're never going to be accepted to do that because you're black. See, I heard that a lot from my own family. You're black, so you're never going to be able to be a world champion. You're never going to have your own business. You can never do that. I've heard that so much. You know, people talk about racism today. Let me tell you something. I heard what I couldn't do from being black more than my own family than I've heard from anybody on this planet. So in my mind, I can do anything, no matter who tells me what. So my mind is so strong. So first myself, I did it through me, okay? And I'm a strong believer in God, so he was there for me, but I believe in me. I got on stage, other people believed in me. I turned it back around. I come around to believe in you. That's transformation of reality. The kid I was back then, I never once thought I'd be talking like this, communicating with you. I didn't know what I would be doing. In fact, I really didn't think I'd live past 20 years old. Honest God truth. I really, really didn't. But because I decided to transform my reality, and because of the fact I can talk to you about transforming your reality, that's what makes me feel good. So again, getting back to transforming reality, it's more than just sitting down and writing a couple notes and saying, I want to make a New Year's resolution. I want to change my life because I want a sports car or because I want this kind of woman or that kind of man. No, it's when you wake up in the morning and you feel good. Why? Just because you woke up. Just because you open the blind, you see the sun outside, and you feel good. I didn't feel like that as a kid. In fact, when the sun came out, I was scared. You know why? A beating's coming. Hardcore chores are coming. Like a guy on a chain gang in a prison. That was my life sometimes in terms of chores every day. Getting beat with a belt on a regular basis. Sometimes you get beatings 2-3 times a day. Belts, extension cords, and let's not be funny here. I didn't have clothes on. I had to take my clothes off for these beatings. Okay? Many times I had welts all over my body, a little blood seeping out. So what I'm telling you is, no matter how hard life is, no matter what's going on, you can transform your reality. I'm living proof of that. So when I talk about transforming reality, I'm not talking about a slogan. Okay? I'm not talking about a feel-good thing that you can just write down what you want to do and manifest it because of this, manifest it because of that, because you just think it. Thinking, yeah, that starts it off. You have to act it. You have to do it. You have to initiate it. Okay? Whatever that thing is you want to do, you might have a lot of people around you that are poison. You have to actually notice that, get them out of your life, and focus on what's positive. First off, what's positive within you? What can you attach to that's positive about you? If you can't pick one thing, sit down and study and figure it out. But what's positive about you? Once you find that one thing that's positive about you, take that thing and cultivate it. Build it. Make it strong. Build that strong thing around you. Let that be your platform you stand on that you believe in about yourself. Now you've got that platform, other people will believe too. You think I've had this business all these years because I don't believe in myself? Because other people don't believe in me? No. It's because I've transformed my reality and people see that I've transformed my reality. Therefore, they trust me to help them transform their reality. Trust yourself, transform your reality. If you need help with it, I'm here. LaceyWeston.com, that's exactly what I do. Until next time, there you go.